So a common question is, what do you do if the seller wants to back out of a deal? And the general answer is going to be let them. Most of the time, it's a lot easier to just let them go. If they don't want to do the deal with you, I would try to find out why, but in the end, just let them go. The reality is, though, that I'm going to say it depends. Most of the time, let them go. But if you've put a lot of time into a deal, if you've put a lot of effort in there, and then they just get a better offer, want to go around you, it may require a little bit more to it than that. Here's a case in point. I had a student recently that contacted me and said, hey, the seller's trying to back out of the deal. If you know the history on this thing, though, the negotiations for this had gone on for months. They'd gone back and forth on price. It was brother and sister. It was an inherited property. And they'd just gone back and forth, back and forth. They'd finally accepted a price from my student. And a month had rocked on since then. She was getting closer to closing. She was actively looking for buyers. And the brother called her up and said, hey, we've decided we don't want to sell. Our cousin wants to buy it. He's going to pay us more for it, and so on and so forth. And I said, listen, I told my student, you've put a lot of time and effort into this thing. You can let them out of the deal, but you should be compensated for that, okay? So is the solution recording a memorandum of agreement or something along those lines? Maybe. The biggest problem that I see with that is a lot of people that are new to the game will come in, they'll slap a memorandum of agreement onto something down at the courthouse, the deal falls through, they just leave it, and the seller's in a bind later. Okay, now that sounds like a really long answer to a short question. But what you're going to find is probably 95% of the time, if the seller wants out, let them out. If you've put a lot of effort and time, you're fully intending to close, you have the means to close, and the seller just tries to back out on you at the end or something like that, there's nothing wrong with telling them, listen, I put a lot of time and effort into this, I've got marketing dollars spent, and I've got my time involved here, I'll let you out of the contract for X, and that may be $500, it may be $1,000, whatever the number is that's fair. But don't be afraid to record a memorandum in that instance. To protect your interest, the title company can go around it. We've done this a few times in our 22 years of doing investing, and every single time we've gotten paid when the seller eventually tried to sell. So a memorandum's okay, use it cautiously, and only in cases where it's really warranted. So most of the time let them go in the instances where you have a lot of time and effort in there. Record your memorandum and get paid for your time.